What is up, Breaking Bad fans? Kino here, and we are back with another Breaking Bad log. Today we're looking at the 6th episode of Season 4, Cornered. Now, the episode opens inside another one of Gus's trucks. Two of his men are waiting inside with guns. The truck is again stopped by the cartel, but instead of shooting them, they flood the truck with gas from the exhaust system. The men inside are suffocated, and the cartel are able to steal a bucket from inside the truck. After the title, Skyler replays Walt's voicemail from the previous episode. She's also been doing research on Gail Bedecker after Walt's drunken statements the last episode. When Walt wakes up from his hangover, Skyler confronts him about what he said. She believes that Walt is in danger and subconsciously wants to be caught. This is true, not because he's scared like she thinks, but because he wants to be recognized for his own genius. However, her fears about his safety again wound his pride, and he gives his iconic "the one who knocks" speech to her.
I am not in danger, Skyler. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot, and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.
Now, this is considered one of Walt's most badass moments, and is probably included in some cringe Sigma male grind set video. But I feel the need to explain why this is not a great moment for Walt. For one, Walt was lying when he said he was not in danger. Walt was extremely scared of the danger around him just 2 episodes previously.
Everyone is in danger. I mean, how can I protect anyone? My family, Jesse, myself.
This scene is more about Walt trying to convince himself rather than Skyler. Furthermore, Walt is essentially bullying his wife, not confronting one of his enemies. Skyler wasn't even trying to insult Walt. She was concerned about his safety because she loved him. However, and I know I'm going to get some hate for this statement, because of his toxic masculinity, he sees any kind of concern for him as an attack on his ego. And ultimately, all this does is drive Skyler further away from him. Later that night, Walt gets the keys from the car wash from Bogdan. Bogdan doubts his ability to run the business and insults his masculinity. However, Walt gets the last laugh when he insists that Bogdan leave the first dollar he ever made, as he's selling the business as is. Walt then uses the dollar to buy a soda from the vending machine. Now this is the kind of power move that I can get behind. Meanwhile, Mike and Jesse go out to a diner after another job. Jesse is detoxing from the drugs, and Mike takes pity on him, offering him some of his food. We can see a bond starting to grow between the two of them. The next day, Skyler has still not come home after leaving Walt. Walt, feeling guilty about the situation, decides to buy his son a car. However, when they get there, Junior pressures him into buying a new Dodge Challenger instead of a used car. Later, Walt goes to work at the lab. Jesse is there, and Walt confronts him about where he's been. When Jesse tells him about what's been going on with Mike, Walt tells him that he thinks all of this is an attempt to manipulate him and drive a wedge between them. Though he is right, his insults of Jesse only serve to further push him away towards Mike and Gus. Later, Jesse is called away on business by Mike, leaving Walt alone to clean the lab. Since the job is too big for him alone, Walt offers some of the women working at the laundry money to help him clean. Though they're not supposed to go into the lab, Walt convinces them with money. When they are done though, Tyrus comes and puts them back on a bus to their native country. This is because they've seen the lab and are now a liability. Walt says that it was his fault and to blame him, which Tyrus says Gus does. Meanwhile, Skyler has driven to the Four Corners, which marks the borders of New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, and Colorado. She's debating leaving with Holly, and tosses a coin to decide where she's going to go. The coin lands on Colorado twice, but unhappy with the outcome, she drags it back to New Mexico. Deciding to stay with her family, she gets back in her car and drives back. Back in Albuquerque, Mike and Jesse stake out a drug addict's house looking for their stolen meth. Jesse gets the idea to distract one of the junkies, digging a hole and playing on the meth addict's obsession with finding out what's buried there. He then sneaks into the house, but is confronted by the other junkie with a shotgun. Jesse manages to knock him out, impressing Mike, who then recovers the drugs and sees a message left by the cartel. Later that night, Mike and Jesse meet Gus at a diner. Mike relays the message, which asks if Gus is ready to talk. Though Mike suggests they hit back, Gus decides to set up a meeting to try to negotiate instead. As he's leaving, Jesse asks why he's been given this chance. Gus says that he sees something in Jesse, again manipulating him by giving him the praise that Walter never does. Back at the house, Skylar finally comes home. She sees the new car Walt bought for their son and tells him it has to be returned. She says that though their son will blame her, she'll accept that in order to protect their story. She then has a badass line of her own.
But you know what, Walt? Someone has to protect this family from the man who protects this family.
She then leaves Walt alone as the episode ends. The title of the episode has multiple meanings, from the Four Corners monument Skylar visits to Jesse being cornered by the junkie. Also, when Jesse introduces himself to the drug addicts, he says his name is Diesel, the same name he used in Peekaboo.
My name's, Diesel.
Finally, Skylar has a line where she asks if the person who killed Gale will ever want to kill Walt. Walt dismisses it, but of course, if you've seen the series, you know how ironic that line is. And that's pretty much everything I have to say about the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next one, coming soon. I am the one who uploads. Russell, Sean, Heart of Markness, Logan, Clean, John Reyna, Jesse Sterling, Andrew Stewart, Ops Gracing Media, Daz J. Kit, Conan Higgins, Sam Cedarlin, Don Lucania, Celery Man, Jenna Marie Johnson, and Brad Smith Studios.